In today's video, I will be talking about a threefold brochure I recently made for a German non-profit called Give Something Back to Berlin. It's a community focused on inclusion of immigrants and locals in Berlin. And as in every project, I started my process with first analyzing the brand and defining the brand voice and tone. I realized that defining the keywords that represent the style is a great way of reminding yourself of the direction and the path to take. So even when you're in doubt, these keywords can serve as your guide and help you get back on track. I knew that if I wanted to keep consistency with the brand, the keywords and main characteristics of the design were colorful, playful, and bold. The second step was collecting and analyzing the branding assets that I had at my disposal, and those were the logo, the website, and the given font. Now, as you can see, the logo ultimately became the starting point for the design solution I came up with for this brochure. There were two main aspects of the logo that I wanted to keep, and those became the pillars for this design. Those were the colors and the shapes. I really wanted those colors from the logo to stand out and carry the entire design, as well as the playful polygonal shapes that it was made from. Since the logo was representing a bear silhouette made of those irregular shapes, I deconstructed it and I used those shapes to create a background for the outside panels, as well as decorate the inside panels of the brochure. Those shapes were used as they are, meaning they are the exact shapes from the logo, enlarged, and after a lot of experimenting and variations, they were put in such a way that they created an interesting and bold layout and composition for the front and the back of the brochure. This is what's called deconstructing a logo. This brings me to an important conclusion. Very often, you have already a lot of tools to work with, even when you just have the logo at your disposal. So my rule I like to follow is not to add anything else or anything new until you have completely exploited all the assets you have. For the inside of the brochure, I didn't want to go over the top and too bold, since the outside panels were already very playful and strong. I didn't want the inside to compete with the outside, but to complement it. So I decided to keep the inside panels on white background with a little bit cleaner and more sober approach, as you can see, while still using some of those shapes to bring some color and playfulness and using them in corners as well as for image masking. As I mentioned, the font was given. It was Montserrat, a modern, clean sans serif font, and I opted for a strong contrast between the bold subtitles and plain body copy. Some of the text was put in vertical format, rotated at 90 degrees, just to put a little bit more emphasis on this information and to give it again a more playful and modern look. Remember that it's always fun to break the grid if done correctly, and that logo and text do not always have to be read horizontally. Lastly, the custom icons I used are made in similar style as the logo, with sharp polygonal shapes to keep consistency with the brand and the overall brochure look. I hope this video gave you some insight into my design process and that it would help you develop your own design thinking. Make sure to check the link in the description for free design mockups and resources on my blog, and if you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe, like, or comment below.